Welcome to this episode for websites. This is the last topic of the 2-week session, Technology in the Church Communications. Hope you've enjoyed things so far. This is kind of the grand finale, so to speak, where we actually create a website and be able to communicate out to the entire world. Yes, the entire world. www, World Wide Web. We're getting out there and we're letting everybody in the world see and hear things that happen and go on in our church for, again, the whole world to see. So it's pretty exciting, pretty neat that you can touch everybody potentially in the world through the web and allow them to see what you do and how you spread God's Word. Alright, there are many choices out there for websites. You can do a ton of them. Just because we're using this one doesn't mean, I'm promoting this is the site. This is just one of a few that I was familiar with, and obviously we only have so much time, so we had to pick one somewhere along the way. So we're going to use webs.com. We'll need you, like we've done before, go to webs.com, create a site, create a profile. Some of the other ones, though, I want you to be aware of. Weebly is one I've used before. Site Builder I haven't used before. GoDaddy I do use, and I use the paid service on that. Also, let me back up. That favorite word of mine, free. Webs is free, Weebly's free, and they say these other ones have a free account that you can do, but also they have a paid option as well. I use the GoDaddy as a paid service, Weebly and Webs as the free service. All of them I haven't really had any problems with. Each one has their own unique things that they'll allow you to do for free and not allow you to do for free, and then as you get into the premium services where you pay, if you choose to go that route, you have other bells and whistles you get to use. I added a site down there that I found. If you go to the website Builder Top 10, that will give you a bunch of the top 10 free ones that they're recommending. But again, all you have to do is go into Google, type in website, builder, free website, anything like that, and you'll have a load of them. You have to determine what's going to be best for your church, financially and aesthetically, how you want to build your website. So, like I said, there's many options out there. You got to figure out what works best for you and your church. When we go into webs, as you build your profile, one of the things you have to do is pick your theme or your page. Now, the nice thing about this on webs, you can change that in the future, so don't feel like locked in, like, oh my goodness, all this pressure, which one do I pick? You can change it, so don't get too bogged down with that. A couple of things, you'll see packages up there on the left. As you click down to that, you'll get the free, the premium, and I think there's a super ultra premium that you can get. Obviously, the more money you spend, the nicer and more bells and whistles you have to make it easier for you to use. We've been using ours, free website, for years now. Haven't had any problems. It's been able to handle everything we've wanted it to do. But again, these are as customized as your church. So you may have different needs or wants than we do. So you have to figure out what you want to do and go from there. We're going to do this free because, again, you already paid money for the course. I don't want to tackle on more money. We're just doing this to get used to making a website. You can continue using this. This could be your church's website. This could be an offshoot page. That you take your main page that you have from your website and forward them to this through a hyperlink. One thing I mentioned in the discussion in the assignments is you could actually, even if you have a church website, create a page just for a group within your church. And that way you could give access to one person to maintain this section of the website that you're actually forwarded to. And that way they can keep it current and they can manage it, I guess, based upon if they're the head of this group. They can put current stuff in there that you might not be dealing with on a one-on-one basis. They're going to handle it, so let them deal with it, and they can handle their own page. So it's, again, just different options you have out there. Alright, so when we get to this, you have the option that says industry. You pick an industry, it'll give you theme backgrounds to those likes and dislikes. What I found on webs, when you pick one of them, they take you to the starred ones. You see the orange circle with a star in the center? They're the premium ones, so you have to pay for them. So if you just go all industries, any of those websites or designs down there that you see that don't have a star, they're part of the free service. You can click on them, pick a color that goes with them, and then that's your theme. Again, don't get too bogged down with this because you can change it later on. Here's the one I actually started creating for this, and actually gave me a good idea as I was publishing or doing this lesson for you guys. Why don't I have a website for technology in church? Be a Disciple obviously has information and all, but this is another way where we can get advertisement out and let people know, hey, listen, we have this out there. If you're interested, here's how you can do it. So they give you a blank setup. You have different options on how you want to lay it out. I chose to have a layout of a picture on top, wording on the left hand side, and some wording and stuff, and potential for pictures in the center. Now if you look down the bottom, they're all the drag and drop options for adding boxes to your website. You could go a paragraph, you could just put a title in, just as you see the click here to edit title. You can add a picture, and all you do is click on those boxes down below, drag them onto your website, and then a box will appear, just like you see the double click for the image or click and drag modules into the dashed lines. You set it up how you want, and then once you get to there, you can click into that and then add your content, whether it's pictures, wordings, hyperlinks, forms, whatever you want. You have contact forms down there. The contact form, we're usually used to filling them out. If you want more information, contact me at this, and you put in all your information. They have a stock one that you can put in, but you can also edit that. So say you want to use this for a form, very similar to you could use Google Docs to have a registration form for an event you guys are going to have at the church. You do the same thing here. Add all the information, and then in the contact form itself, it'll have an email address that you'll send all those forms to. Now, depending how big your church is, this may or may not work as good as Google Docs or Google Forms, because that's unlimited. Here on the free service, it's about 20 or 25 you get per month, and then it resets each month. Obviously, if you get the premium, then they up the amount of forms that you can get per month. But that again, that's just on webs. Each site's different. So you can modify that, take the stocked one, whatever works best for you. You can have videos. You can have a photo gallery that will be like a slideshow. As they're on the site, you have 20 pictures. It'll start flipping through them every so many seconds. It'll change to a new picture. So that's another nice option that you can have. If you look up top, you see the 4 pages. You can have on the free site up to 5 free pages. The home one I would definitely recommend. That's the one that's going to grab people's attention and direct them through your site. Photo gallery, that's kind of an option. I mean, I would kind of have a slideshow maybe on the home page, not necessarily a page dedicated to photos, but again, that's why there's 31 flavors of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, because everybody has a different opinion and thought. So if you want to have that, if you're interested in having a blog, you could have that on there. Me personally, again, just my personal opinion, I'll be taking it off and using Facebook as more of a blog or a way that I can get information out. And then the contact page. Again, each page could have a different group or event that's going to happen at your church, or a different program that you have. Your imagination is the only limit on this. Alright, so say you want to upload a picture. You want to put a picture on here. You have to upload it to basically a cloud, for lack of a better term, area on your website. You click upload, and then you'll start in your file manager, start collecting these pictures. So you click upload, and it's nothing different than attaching a file to an email. You click on the picture, it gets uploaded into there, and then you can put it in that space that you want. They do have free images there, usually clip art. So if you don't have any of your own, you could use their free clip art, or you could click a URL image. One thing with the pictures you'll notice, and I found out when I was putting mine up, when you put the picture in, you have to watch the size that the picture is, how many pixels it is. I'm sure you guys have seen on cameras, you know, it's 200 by 300, or whatever the number is based on the setting of the way the picture's taken. that will dovetail into here on how big the picture is, or if only a portion of that picture shows in that box. So you may have to play with a little to get the part of the picture that you want to show up. When you log in, after you get done doing your initial setup, when you log in, you'll have this page here. Now the builder is a section that we were just in, where you were actually manipulating stuff. The dashboard is kind of where your settings and stuff are. If you go to, in fact, if you click on settings or your form submissions, you can customize and have different characteristics to go with that, how you want to set it up. Settings will be important as we continue on, so that we can get particular things the way we want them, and we'll show that as far as the uploading of stuff. One thing our church does is we upload pictures like everybody else, but we also upload that week's bulletin, which is a Word file. So we'll upload that as well, and that's where you'll get your where you can upload stuff through the settings. Here's my website that I was working on right now. Right now I have a nice little title off to the side. I have the title up top. Some pictures that I took from the Be a Disciple site for the advertising of this class, when the next classes are going to be coming up. And those months are actually accurate. I haven't got the actual 2-week dates yet, but those are the ones that are going to be coming up. I have where you can go to Be a Disciple to register. And I actually, it doesn't show it as much here, but when you actually go to the site, it'll show Be a Disciple as a hyperlink. When you click on it, it'll take you to Be a Disciple website. Now, if you look up the top where it says link, what you can do to make any either words or pictures on there a link, so it'll send you somewhere else, either to another page on your website or to another website altogether. You highlight either the picture or the wording just by clicking and dragging, and then you go up the link. When you come up the link, it'll ask you if you want to open up in a new window, and then you just type the website address where you want that link to take your user. So it's really pretty simple, and how you can bounce back and forth and take the user where you want them to go based upon what they're clicking. So that's a nice advantage, a nice tool that you can use. The themes you'll see up top right next to Builder, that's where you can change the theme. If you say, you know what, I use this theme, I don't really care for it, I want to try something else, you can change that. You can also change colors and the basic layout and style of the site. The little gearbox on the right hand side, that's where you can set up and change the layout, rename a page if you don't like the name of the page, and you can also add that 5th page by clicking on Pages too, and that will also allow you to manipulate and go through the other pages. You'll see the default font and so forth up top. We're pretty familiar from using different word processing and Microsoft Office products, where you can center your text, you can bold it, you can italicize. Right to the right of the star, you can change the color of the font. You can change the size of the font. Again, customizing it to how you see fit that'll work for you. Going back to at the dashboard, when you click on settings, you'll see site settings, which you can adjust your sites how you want it. You can also click on File Manager. This is where you upload files to your website and then you use them on your website. But you have to upload them to the File Manager first. It's kind of like a disk drive or a hard drive on your website for files. They got to get uploaded there, then they can get used within your website. I don't have any files here except for the pictures or the images, but when we upload our bulletins, we could use them as docs, and they'll get put into the document section, where you could put WAV files from music or any other files. But this is where you would upload them. The upload button's cut off there on the right hand side, but it's that blue button there, and you'll just go in and attach just like we would with a attachment to an email again. You'll see other options there on the left. Statistics, the SEO booster. The SEO is your site optimization, where you can actually put in wording so when people do searches, they can find your site a little easier. Now, I've also found this out. If you add money to it, you can get boosted higher up on the search list, so when they do a search, you'll be higher up than instead of scrolling down further. But use the free part of it, and If you want to add money and try to get higher up on people's search engines, that's obviously your choice as well. Alright, now it's time to have some fun. Couple things though I wanted to throw out there for websites to try to keep them lookable and people want to get out there and actually look at your website, and one of them is keeping it current. If you have a spaghetti dinner that you had 3 years ago and that's what you're advertising right now, people are going to know you don't keep it up to date. The more you keep it up to date, the more people are apt to say, "Ooh, let me go check out that website and see what's going on in that church today," because they know you're going to update the stuff. If you don't keep it updated, then people start to not look at it as much. We do ours at least once a week, and usually the big change is what's happening that week, and adding the service and the bulletin to it. So it's kept up to date at least once a week. So that's pretty decent if you can at least do that. Change the layout every now and then, again, so people know it's current. Keep it fresh, new ideas, new thoughts, new pictures. Don't keep those old pictures up there all the time. Change them out, give some new pictures. If you have social media, Facebook, Twitter, there's icons on webs and many of the other ones where you can incorporate or attach your Facebook or Twitter post to your website. So you click on that, it'll take you right to your Facebook profile, or it'll take you to your Twitter post. So again, ways for people to interact. Monitor your forms. If you're creating forms, contact forms or otherwise, make sure wherever that email address is being sent to, so it forwards that form to, that email is being monitored so you can reply back in a decent amount of time, so people again know somebody's on the other end of that website and will contact and reach out to you. Use hyperlinks. Hyperlinks are great things. You're again directing your users where you want them to go, whether it be to another site, another spot within your website, your Facebook post, whatever. You can also use hyperlinks from, again, your church, and then this free site, they're not going to know the difference. All they're going to do is click and it's going to go right to the site. They're not going to know they actually went to another website altogether. You could use this, again, as a tool for a small group, a advertisement for events going on in your church. You could actually have this website set up maybe just for advertisements. Say you do a spaghetti dinner, a hoagie sale, VBS, and something else. You could have them set all year long and just disconnect the hyperlinks on your main page when you're not using them. And that way you don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. You're saving some time that way as well. Use your experience. And you're saying, okay, I'm taking this class so I can get experience. No, you've been on the web for how long now? You've seen other sites, you see what's nice, you see what you like, you see what catches people's attention. Use that experience of you being the user, now use that experience to create a nice website. Something that people are going to want to come see, they're going to think is nice, it's going to be informational, it's going to get their attention and give them the information they want. Alright, so we're going to go create that website now. Don't forget to put on the discussion board the website address that you're creating. Make sure you put any information on how your church uses it. If your church has a website, put their website down so others can learn from your guys' experiences and how you guys did something. What they say, the sincere imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. This is a great way when we network with people, we learn stuff from each other in different ways they do it, and we can incorporate some of those good ideas into our websites and our lives and churches. So post yours as well so we can see what yours looks like. Work on that today, at least make the account up today. Get that set, play with it, check out some of the bells and whistles, and then start thinking about what you want to see in your website. If it's your church one, make sure you get permission so you can create that, because again, you're representing them. If your church already has one, make a personal one up. Make a page for your church up. Whatever you want to do. Again, get permission if you're going to be representing the church. Make sure that it's okay. Don't want to get any issues there. If not, just make one up for the class. Throw some pictures on there. Do a little this, do a little that. If you're not going to keep it up there, you can always delete it. That's the beauty of it. Delete it and then it's not there. Or you could use it for your family. Show pictures off to distant relatives. But we can make that site up. Get the website out there, your churches if you have one, and other ways that you think you could use a website to spread God's word, to spread the things that happen in your church with others. Alright, this is going to extend into tomorrow because we actually want to publish at least one page. Even if you don't use all 5, at least one page for everybody to see. So we see you got the gist of using some of this and different ideas. So tomorrow we're going to try to finish that up, have it all done by tomorrow, and we'll be wrapping up tomorrow. 2 weeks came and went really fast. Again, hopefully you enjoyed it, you got something out of it, and hope you enjoyed. We have 2 more classes in Technology in Church. One is social media and one is worship service, where we do presentations of how we can use technology during our service and behind the scenes in administration, and also how we use social media and how we can increase that in different forms of social media that we can be involved with. So again, hope you enjoyed the class and look forward to maybe seeing you in some of the other ones. Alright, enjoy and God bless.